In the silence of your heart, there are moments when you feel that something is shifting, even if you cannot explain it. You sense a weight pressing down on your spirit, yet at the same time, there is a spark, a flicker of light that whispers that change is near. This is not by chance. Jesus is speaking directly to you, and his voice comes not through thunder or earthquakes, but through the stillness that stirs your soul. When everything around you seems uncertain, he wants you to know that he is preparing something powerful, something that is about to unfold in your life. It's not a coincidence that you are here listening to these words. This is a divine appointment arranged to remind you that you are not forgotten. What you are about to witness is the hand of God moving in ways that human eyes cannot predict. The battles you have endured, the tears you have shed, and the silent prayers you have whispered when no one else was watching have not gone unnoticed. Jesus says it's about to happen. The breakthrough you have been waiting for is closer than you imagine. The door you thought was locked is about to open, and the answers you thought were delayed are now on their way. He has seen the pain you carry, and he is turning that pain into purpose, shaping your story into a testimony that will inspire others. And now he calls you to trust him, not with a shallow faith that wavers at the first sign of difficulty, but with a deep, unshakable confidence that even when you cannot see, you will believe. This is your moment to lean into his presence and declare that you will not give up, because Jesus has declared that something is about to shift in your favor. Do not let fear silence your hope. Do not let doubt rob your vision, for what he has promised will not fail. You stand on the edge of a new season, and the word spoken over your life is certain. It's about to happen. There are times in life when it feels as though the heavens have been silent, when your prayers rise like smoke, but seem to dissolve before reaching their destination. You wonder if God has heard you, if Jesus still walks with you through the dark valleys where shadows surround your every step. Yet what you cannot see is that even in the silence, he has been at work, carefully orchestrating events that are far beyond your understanding. The delays were not denials, and the waiting was never wasted. Every tear that fell from your eyes was collected. Every sigh was recorded. Every sleepless night was noticed by the one who promised never to leave nor forsake you. The silence was not abandonment, it was preparation. It was in the quiet moments that God was weaving the threads of your story into something that would not only bless you, but also bless others. Jesus says, it's about to happen. The season of drought is about to give way to abundance, and the desert places of your heart are about to bloom with life again. You may not recognize it, but the roots of your faith have been growing deeper while you waited. Like a seed planted in the soil, unseen for a time but destined to break forth into the light, your prayers have been germinating beneath the surface. You thought nothing was happening, but heaven was moving in ways that eyes cannot see and ears cannot hear. And now, as the appointed time approaches, the shift that you have longed for is drawing near, closer than the breath you take, ready to manifest in ways that will leave you in awe. Do not despise the waiting, for it has prepared you to carry the blessing. The strength you gained in weakness, the resilience you discovered in trials, the hope you held on to in despair, all of it has been forging you into someone who can withstand the weight of the miracle about to arrive. When Jesus says something is about to happen, it is not a possibility, it is a certainty. His word does not return void, his promises never expire, and his love never falters. Stand firm, lift your head, and fix your eyes on the horizon, because what he has spoken over your life is now on the verge of becoming reality. This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for, and it is closer than you dare to believe. There is a stirring in the atmosphere that your spirit can sense. even if your mind struggles to comprehend it. For months, maybe years, you have been walking through trials that left scars on your soul and questions in your heart. You faced closed doors, unanswered prayers, betrayals, disappointments, and moments where it seemed that hope was slipping from your grasp. Yet even in those painful chapters, Jesus never left your side. He walked with you through every valley, even when you didn't feel his presence. He carried you through nights of tears and mornings of confusion, and he sustained you when you felt too weak to keep going. Every setback, every loss, every delay was shaping you for this very moment. And now he is whispering into your spirit, do not be afraid, for what you have been waiting for, what you have been praying for, what you have been crying for is about to come alive before your very eyes. Jesus says it's about to happen. Not tomorrow, not in some distant season, but soon in his perfect timing that is always better than ours. You may not see the evidence yet, but faith has always been about believing before the proof arrives. Just like a farmer trusts the harvest will come after the seed has been buried in the soil. You are being called to trust that the harvest of your prayers is already on its way. The seeds of faith you planted in tears will be reaped in joy, and the chapters of struggle are about to give way to pages filled with victory. What felt like the end of your story was only the beginning of a new testimony. And when it unfolds, it will not be small, it will not be ordinary. It will be so great that only God could take the credit. Lift your eyes beyond what you can see, because the realm of the unseen is where God works his greatest miracles. You may think you are unworthy. You may feel disqualified by your failures or weighed down by your past, but none of those things cancel the promises of Jesus over your life. He delights in taking what the enemy meant for evil and turning it for good. He specializes in resurrecting dead dreams, healing broken hearts, and opening doors that no man can shut. This is why you must not give up. This is why you must hold on, because Jesus is declaring that your breakthrough is already in motion. You may not feel it yet, but the shift has already begun. The clouds are gathering, the winds of change are blowing, and soon what you have longed for will become your reality. Trust him, for he is faithful. And when he says it's about to happen, heaven itself is preparing to release what you've been waiting for. Every storm you have faced, every battle that nearly broke you, and every valley that seemed endless has not been wasted, for through it all, God has been equipping you for the very promise that is now about to be fulfilled. Many times, you may have questioned why the trials had to be so fierce, why the obstacles seemed so insurmountable, and why the journey took longer than you ever imagined. Yet it is in the crushing that the oil is released. It is in the fire that gold is purified, and it is in the deepest valleys that you learn to depend on his hand to guide you. Jesus has watched every moment when you thought you were forgotten, and he has seen every time you almost surrendered to despair. But instead of letting go, you held on, and that faith, though trembling, though imperfect, was enough to move heaven on your behalf. And now, after so much pain and waiting, he is declaring that the breakthrough is already at the door, closer than you realize. Jesus says, it's about to happen. What you have been contending for, what you have been crying out for, is already in motion. The unseen hand of God has been aligning circumstances, shifting hearts, and removing obstacles that you could never remove on your own. While you were worrying, he was working. While you were doubting, he was arranging every detail. Nothing was wasted, not even your mistakes, for even your failures have been folded into his divine plan. He takes every broken piece and fits it into the masterpiece of your destiny. The chapter of delay is closing, and a new season of fulfillment is opening before you. Soon you will look back and realize that the waiting was not in vain, because the blessing that is coming is far greater than what you lost, far richer than what you expected, and far more beautiful than what you dreamed. So do not allow fear to take root in your heart now, when you are closer than ever to the answer. Do not let the enemy whisper lies that your prayers are forgotten, or that your story is over, because the author of your life is still writing. What he writes cannot be erased, and what he promises cannot be revoked. This is the moment to stand in faith, even if your knees are trembling, even if your heart is weary, and declare that you will believe the word of the Lord. Because when Jesus says it is about to happen, nothing in heaven, on earth, or beneath the earth can stop it. The doors that are opening will astonish you. The miracles that will unfold will overwhelm you, and the testimony that will rise from your lips will proclaim to the world that our God is faithful and his timing is perfect. There are moments in life when the weight of waiting feels unbearable, when each day seems like an eternity, and every unanswered prayer feels like a wound left open. Yet it is in these seasons of silence that God does his deepest work. You may not have seen the answers, you may not have felt the progress, but beneath the surface, heaven has been aligning what your eyes could not perceive. Jesus has been watching over you in every step, protecting you in battles you didn't even know existed, and carrying you through dangers you could not see. Every delay has been divine strategy, not divine neglect. The tension you feel is not the end of the story, but the contraction before the birth of something new, the shaking before the unveiling of glory, the final stretch before the breakthrough bursts forth. This is why Jesus whispers with urgency into your spirit today. It's about to happen. When Jesus speaks, reality shifts. The same voice that calmed storms, that raised the dead, that opened blind eyes, and that called Lazarus from the grave, is speaking to you now. He is not limited by the calendar on your wall, by the clock on your wrist, or by the circumstances around you. His timing is eternal, and when he says something is about to happen, it means that everything in creation begins to move in alignment with his word. What looked impossible yesterday will suddenly unfold tomorrow. What seemed out of reach will be placed into your hands. What you thought was lost forever will be restored in ways greater than you could have imagined. The shift is not coming from your strength, but from his power, and that is why you can be confident that nothing and no one can stop it. So lift your eyes, because hope is not dead. Lift your heart, because faith is not wasted. Lift your spirit, because joy is on its way. Jesus has not forgotten you, and his word is a guarantee that your story is not finished. The very trials that tried to destroy you will become the platform for your testimony. The very battles that drained you will become the backdrop for your victory. And the very season of waiting that broke you will become the season of joy that heals you. Stand firm now, for heaven is closer than ever, and what Jesus has promised is about to break through the darkness. The dawn is rising, the chains are falling, and the miracle is already moving toward you. Believe this truth and hold it in your heart, for Jesus says it's about to happen, and his word is always true. Think of the seasons of your life like the changing of the skies. There are times when the clouds roll in, heavy and gray, blocking out every ray of light, making you believe the storm will last forever. And yet, no matter how long the storm lingers, the sun is never destroyed. It is only hidden, waiting for the moment to break through once again. That is exactly what Jesus has been doing in your life. He has allowed the storm to shape you, to build strength within you, and to prepare you for the brightness of the promise that is about to emerge. You may feel as though you have been trapped in a night without end, but the truth is that the dawn is already breaking, and light is about to flood every shadowed corner of your heart. Jesus says, it's about to happen. Just as the earth responds to the changing of the seasons, so too will your life respond to the command of the one who holds all authority. The barren fields are about to blossom, the dried rivers are about to flow again, and the wilderness you've wandered through is about to be transformed into a garden of abundance. The word spoken over you carries the same power that once spoke the universe into existence. This is why you must not let despair dictate your vision or fear dictate your future. Heaven has already set into motion what you cannot yet see, and very soon the invisible will become visible, and the impossible will become your reality. This is your reminder that you are not forgotten, you are not abandoned, and you are not overlooked. The hands that formed the stars and stretched out the heavens are the same hands that are writing the next chapter of your story. The wait has been long, but the fulfillment will be sudden. One moment it will seem as if nothing is changing, and in the very next, the breakthrough will rush in like a flood, overwhelming you with the goodness of God. So stand firm, keep believing, keep declaring, and keep holding on, because Jesus has spoken. It's about to happen, and His word never fails. There are moments when you feel that the weight of your struggles has lasted longer than your strength could endure, and you question whether you will ever see the fulfillment of the promises spoken over your life. You look around, and all you can see are the scars left by battles fought in silence, the unanswered questions, the nights spent crying into a pillow with no one to hear but God alone. Yet even in those hidden places, He was at work, not punishing you, but preparing you. The crushing seasons were not meant to destroy you. They were meant to press out of you a faith so resilient that it could withstand any storm. The fire that burned around you was never meant to consume you, but to refine you, to burn away the fear, the doubt, the unbelief, until only a stronger, purer, unshakable faith remained. That refining has brought you here, to this very moment, where Jesus Himself declares into your weary soul, the wait is almost over because it's about to happen. When heaven decides to move, nothing on earth can prevent it. The same God who split the Red Sea, who caused manna to fall from heaven, who opened prison doors for Paul and Silas, and who brought resurrection where death seemed final, is the same God moving in your life right now. Though you may not see the shift yet, every force in the spiritual realm is aligning to bring forth the breakthrough that has been promised. The prayers that felt ignored were never wasted. They were stored, they were planted, and they were watered with your tears. And now, as the fullness of time approaches, the harvest of those prayers is about to be released. What once felt like silence is about to give way to songs of joy. What once felt like loss is about to be transformed into gain. And what once felt like endless night is about to explode into the brilliance of morning. So lift your spirit, for you are closer than you think. Every chain that has bound you is loosening. Every door that was sealed is unlocking, and every plot of the enemy is unraveling at the command of Jesus. Your life is not defined by what has gone wrong, but by what is about to be made right. The delay has not been denial, it has been divine timing. And now that timing is unfolding and the miracle you thought had passed you by is circling back, greater and stronger than you ever prayed for. Hold on with everything you have, because when Jesus speaks, all of creation obeys. And today, His word over you is certain, unshakable, and unstoppable. It's about to happen, and nothing in this world has the power to prevent it. Every delay you've endured, every disappointment that pierced your heart, and every season where it felt like heaven was silent, has been building toward this moment. You may not have realized it at the time, but each obstacle you faced was not there to stop you. It was there to shape you, to teach you endurance, and to prepare you to carry what is coming. You see, if the blessing had arrived too soon, you might not have been ready, and what was meant to be a gift could have felt like a burden. But Jesus in His wisdom has stretched your patience, He has tested your faith, and He has built within you a foundation that no storm will ever shake. That is why you can stand with confidence even now, because everything you went through has been preparing you for what is about to unfold. He is whispering with urgency into your spirit, Do not give up now, because it's about to happen, and when it does, it will exceed every expectation. Think of the greatest stories of transformation, moments where defeat was turned into triumph, sorrow into laughter, ashes into beauty. That is the kind of miracle Jesus is setting in motion for you. The chains that held you back are breaking. Even as you hear these words, the heavy burdens that weighed you down are being lifted, and the prison doors that kept you trapped are swinging wide open. What you thought was an ending is about to be revealed as a new beginning, one designed, not by your strength but by God's power. And when it happens, it won't just change your circumstances, it will change you. It will open your eyes to see how every step, even the painful ones, led you here, to the very threshold of breakthrough. And in that moment you will know beyond all doubt that it was not your effort, but His grace that carried you. So prepare your heart, because the shift is already in motion. The winds of change are blowing, the rivers of blessing are beginning to rise, and the heavens are aligning in your favor. This is not a false hope nor an empty promise. It is the living word of Jesus, declaring life over what seemed dead, victory over what seemed lost, and joy over what seemed broken. Do not let fear steal this moment from you. Do not let doubt blind your vision. Stand with courage, because what He has spoken cannot be undone. Soon you will testify of His goodness, and your life will shine as proof that when Jesus says it's about to happen, it always does. There are battles that you fought which no one else even knew about. Wars waged in the silence of your mind. Moments where the weight of discouragement pressed so heavily on your chest that you wondered if you would make it to see another day. And yet, here you are, standing, breathing, still alive, not because of your own strength, but because Jesus carried you through the fire. The very fact that you did not collapse under the weight of it all is proof that His hand has never left you. He was there when you thought you were alone. He was fighting when you thought you were defenseless, and He was holding you when you thought you were falling. Every scar you carry is not a mark of defeat, but a badge of survival, a testimony that no matter what came against you, it could not destroy you. And now, the one who preserved you is preparing to reward you with a victory so great that even your enemies will have to acknowledge His power. Jesus says, it's about to happen. The weapons formed against you have already failed. The accusations spoken against you are being silenced, and the chains designed to keep you bound are snapping under the weight of His authority. Heaven's armies have been dispatched on your behalf, and what you could never fight alone is now being conquered in the spiritual realm. The enemy thought he had you cornered, that despair would break you, but he underestimated the God who walks into the fire with His children. Every plot against your destiny is collapsing. Every lie that whispered defeat is being exposed, and every shadow that tried to extinguish your light is being driven back. The victory is not future tense. It is unfolding now, and soon you will see it with your own eyes. So rise up in faith, because the battle is already shifting. The darkness that lingered for so long is breaking under the dawn, and the heaviness you carried is being lifted. You are stepping into a season where what once opposed you will bow before you, not because of your own might, but because the King of Kings has declared your freedom. Stand tall, lift your hands, and prepare your heart for what is about to manifest. Will not just bless you, it will bless generations after you. The pain you endured will become the story that strengthens others. The wounds you carried will become the proof of God's healing, and the fight you survived will become the anthem of victory. Jesus has spoken, and His word is final. It's about to happen, and nothing in this world can stop it. Every prayer you whispered in secret, every time you cried out in the dark when no one else could hear, every moment where your voice trembled with desperation but still carried faith, none of it was ignored. Heaven recorded every word, every tear, every groan too deep for language. While you thought nothing was changing, angels were being dispatched, doors were being prepared, and blessings were being aligned with your destiny. What looked like unanswered prayers were actually seeds planted in the soil of eternity, and the waiting has only allowed them to grow roots so deep that no storm can ever uproot them. Jesus has been guarding the harvest of your faith, and now he is announcing that the time has come for you to reap with joy what you once sowed with tears. He is saying to you in this very moment, do not doubt, do not fear, because it's about to happen. You have been standing on the edge of breakthrough without realizing it. Every delay has been the stretching of your faith. Every trial has been a refining of your character. And every detour has been the protection of your destiny. You may have felt left behind, overlooked, forgotten by heaven, but in truth you were being positioned. Jesus does not forget, he does not overlook, and he never abandons those who trust him. The pressure you felt was never meant to crush you, but to prepare you for the weight of glory about to be revealed. Just as a diamond is formed in the depths of the earth under unimaginable pressure, so too have you been formed in the hidden places, and now your brilliance is about to shine for all to see. What is coming will not be a trickle but a flood, not a small relief but an overwhelming outpour of blessing that will leave you speechless before the goodness of God. And so this is your call to remain steadfast, because what he has spoken is unshakable. You may feel weary, but strength is rising. You may feel empty, but fullness is coming. You may feel like giving up, but hope is about to be reborn inside you. The waiting was not wasted. It was holy preparation. And soon you will stand in awe as the pages of your story turn, revealing chapters you never dreamed possible. This is why Jesus says with such authority and such urgency, it's about to happen. The moment is near, the shift is here, and all of creation is moving in alignment with his promise. Hold on, because your testimony is being written, and it will echo far beyond your own life, becoming a beacon of faith for all who hear it. There comes a moment in every story when the tension reaches its peak, when it feels as though the weight of the night will never break into dawn. And yet, it is precisely then that the first light begins to pierce the horizon. That is where you stand right now, on the threshold of change, at the very edge of breakthrough. For too long, you have walked carrying burdens that felt endless, enduring seasons that seemed unshakable, and holding on to promises that looked impossible. But Jesus has been with you in every step, even when your heart doubted, even when your faith wavered, even when your strength failed. And today, he speaks over you with the certainty of heaven. You are closer than you think, you are nearer than you believe, because it's about to happen. The doors you thought were sealed are loosening, the chains you thought were permanent are breaking, and the walls you thought were unmovable are already trembling. Jesus says, the time of waiting is shifting into a time of fulfillment. Just as the seasons change without fail, so too does the Word of God bring about the change he has promised. Winter cannot resist the arrival of spring, and night cannot hold back the coming of morning. In the same way, your struggle cannot cancel your destiny, and your past cannot disqualify your future. The very things that tried to silence you will become the platform from which you will shout victory. The very tears that soaked your pillow will be turned into songs of joy that overflow from your heart. And when it happens, it will be sudden. It will arrive not by your strength, not by your striving, but by his Spirit moving in ways you never imagined. The miracle will not knock gently. It will rush in like a flood, unstoppable and undeniable. So, prepare your heart, because the atmosphere around you is shifting. Heaven is aligning, angels are moving, and Jesus himself has declared that the waiting is over. You may not see it yet, but you will. You may not feel it now, but you will. And when you look back on this very season, you will see that the pain had purpose, the silence had meaning, and the waiting had value. Your story is not ending, it is only beginning, and the chapter being written now is greater than anything you've seen before. This is why you cannot give up, why you cannot lose faith, because Jesus says it's about to happen. The victory is closer than your breath. The promise is nearer than your doubts, and the breakthrough is already unfolding before your eyes. Every delay you endured has been building the stage for what is about to be revealed. Every tear, every sigh, every unanswered question has been stored in the heart of God, and not one moment has been wasted. You may have believed that your prayers were unheard, but they were being gathered, multiplied, and prepared for a release that will astonish you. Heaven has been silent, not because you were forgotten, but because the timing had not yet aligned with the fullness of God's plan. Now, the silence is breaking, the stillness is shifting, and the word of Jesus is resounding louder than your doubts. It's about to happen. The pressure you've been under was the contraction before birth, the shaking before breakthrough, and now the new season is about to erupt into your reality. The moment you have been waiting for will not arrive in small pieces, but as a flood of divine intervention that sweeps away every barrier. Jesus does not move partially. When he moves, he transforms everything. The mountain you could not climb is about to crumble. The desert that starved your hope is about to bloom, and the chains that mocked your prayers are about to fall with a sound that echoes through eternity. This is not a small shift. It is a divine turning point that will mark your life forever. Just as the tomb could not hold Jesus, so too the obstacles in your path cannot hold back the promises over your destiny. Resurrection is in motion. Restoration is being released, and renewal is rushing into the very places that once seemed barren. So stand ready, for your life is about to become a testimony of his faithfulness. You will tell the story of how you endured when everything around you urged you to quit, and you will declare that it was not your own strength that carried you, but the power of Jesus himself. Your breakthrough will not just bless you, it will overflow, touching your family, your community, and generations yet to come. What once looked like ruin will shine as redemption, and your pain will become the seed of purpose for others who need hope. This is why you cannot lose heart now, because the shift has already begun, and heaven is closer than ever. Jesus has spoken, and his voice shakes the heavens and the earth. It's about to happen, and nothing can stop it. There are moments when the weight of the past tries to chain you to regret, when the enemy whispers that your story is over, and when fear tells you that nothing will ever change. But what those voices forget is that Jesus has the final word, and his word is never defeat. He looks at the broken pieces of your life and does not see ruin. He sees the foundation of a masterpiece. He takes what the world discards and transforms it into something beautiful, something filled with purpose. Every trial that has scarred you, every valley that threatened to swallow you, has been reshaped by his hand to lead you into the season you are stepping into now. He does not call you by your mistakes. He calls you by your destiny, and his voice is announcing with power that a new chapter is opening before you, one that will silence every lie spoken over your life. When Jesus moves, he doesn't restore you to where you were before. He takes you further. He multiplies what was lost. He strengthens what was weakened, and he breathes life into what was thought to be dead. The story of your future will not be one of barely surviving, but of overflowing abundance. You will walk into rooms you never imagined. You will stand before opportunities you thought were closed forever, and you will experience joy so profound that it will erase the memory of the nights you thought would never end. What is unfolding is not random. It is the fulfillment of promises spoken long before you ever faced your struggles. Heaven has been waiting for this appointed time, and now the gates are opening wide for you to step through. So let courage rise in you, for the season of hiding is over. The light of God is breaking through the clouds, illuminating a path that was invisible until now. The doors are swinging open not by your effort but by divine decree, and the blessings ahead of you are greater than anything behind you. This is why your heart must hold steady, because the acceleration has begun. What took years to build will be transformed in moments, and what seemed delayed is suddenly rushing toward you. Jesus has declared it, and his word never fails. It's about to happen. Stand ready, for you are about to witness the unveiling of his power in ways that will leave no doubt that it was his hand guiding you all along. Every story reaches a point where the struggle can no longer contain the promise, where the weight of waiting gives way to the force of destiny, and that is where you stand right now. The season of silence is being shattered, and the whispers of doubt are being drowned out by the voice of Jesus, declaring that your time has come. You will no longer walk with your head bowed under the weight of unanswered questions, because the answers are about to manifest before your eyes. What seemed impossible will no longer intimidate you, because his power is already rewriting the narrative of your life. He has taken the fragments you thought were lost forever and has been weaving them together into something greater than anything you could have imagined. Every delay was a setup, every tear was an investment, and every moment of endurance has positioned you to receive what is now being released. Jesus says it's about to happen. The shift will not come quietly. It will come with a suddenness that takes even you by surprise. One moment, you will wonder if change will ever arrive, and in the next, you will stand in awe at how quickly everything turns. This is the nature of his power. It does not move by human pace but by divine timing. Just as seasons cannot resist their appointed time, so too your life cannot resist the hand of God moving upon it. When he declares a thing, it becomes reality. And when he declares that breakthrough is upon you, the chains that bound you lose their strength, the doors that were locked swing wide, and the opportunities that once fled now return in abundance. So, prepare yourself, because what is coming will not only restore what was lost, but also overflow into every area of your life. The joy that has been withheld will rush in like a river. The peace you longed for will cover you like a garment, and the strength you thought you lacked will rise from within you like fire. This is the hour when your pain becomes your testimony, and your endurance becomes your crown. Lift your head, because the one who promised is faithful. Stand firm, because his word is unstoppable. And hold fast, because the moment you have prayed for, cried for, and believed for is already in motion. Jesus has spoken, and his voice reverberates through eternity. It's about to happen. Every season of struggle has been leading you to this defining moment. What felt like endless waiting was, in truth, preparation for something greater than you dared to believe. Jesus has been moving in the unseen, aligning circumstances, shifting hearts, and clearing paths that you could not even imagine existed. You may have thought the silence meant abandonment, but it was strategy. The unanswered questions were not rejection, they were redirection. Now, as the weight of everything you have endured begins to lift, you will see clearly that nothing was wasted. Even the pain had a purpose, even the losses carried lessons, and even the moments of despair planted seeds that are now bursting into life. The chapter of sorrow is closing, and the chapter of fulfillment is opening before you, written by the very hand of the one who never fails. Jesus says, it's about to happen. The shift will not creep in slowly. It will arrive with the force of a breakthrough long restrained. Like a dam breaking open, the blessing will pour forth in ways that will overwhelm you with joy. The very things that once mocked your prayers will become proof that those prayers were powerful. The doors you knocked on and thought would never open are swinging wide, and the opportunities that seemed forever lost are being restored with even greater glory. You will not just survive this season. You will rise with strength, with peace, and with a testimony that will echo far beyond your own life. Heaven's timing has aligned with your faith, and now the release is here, so do not shrink back, and do not let fear paralyze you now. The breakthrough is closer than your doubts, and the promise is stronger than your fears. Stand with confidence, because the one who spoke light into darkness is speaking life into your situation right now. Lift your eyes from the weight of the past and fix them on the horizon of what is to come, because it is radiant with hope. You are stepping into a new season, one where joy replaces sorrow, victory replaces defeat, and faith replaces fear. This is the fulfillment of every word he has spoken, the manifestation of every promise you held on to, and the realization of every dream you thought was gone. Jesus has declared it, and his word cannot return empty. It's about to happen. There are times when the weight of life convinces you that nothing will ever change, that the cycle of pain and disappointment will keep repeating. But those thoughts are about to be silenced by the move of God in your life. You are standing on the edge of a moment designed by heaven, a divine turning point that no force of darkness can prevent. The prayers you whispered when no one saw, the tears you shed when no one knew, and the hope you clung to even when it felt faint, have all been gathered by the hands of Jesus. He has not ignored your cries. He has been preparing a response that will not only meet your needs, but exceed them. What is coming is not a patch to cover the brokenness, but a complete restoration that leaves no trace of the pain behind. Every wound will be healed, every loss will be redeemed, and every shadow will be pushed back by his light. Jesus says, it's about to happen. The pressure you have felt was never meant to crush you. It was the signal that the breakthrough was near. Just as a seed must be buried before it can break through the soil, your faith has been buried in seasons of silence, waiting for its appointed time to emerge. And now the soil is cracking, the roots are strong, and the sprout of new life is pushing through. The prayers that seemed dormant are about to bloom with answers so abundant that you will not have room to contain them. The doors that remained closed will swing open with such force that you will realize they were never locked, only waiting for the right season to be revealed. This is that season. This is the moment. The sudden shift is here, and it will be undeniable. That only Jesus could have done it. So prepare yourself for a transformation so profound that even those who doubted you will be left speechless. The story that once caused you shame will become the very testimony that inspires others. The struggle that once felt unbearable will become the proof of God's faithfulness. And the silence that once made you question his presence will be remembered as the womb of your miracle. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and let hope rise within you, because his word is breaking through every barrier. What he spoke over you cannot be cancelled, cannot be delayed, and cannot be stopped. Heaven has already moved. The shift is already here, and the voice of Jesus is thundering through your soul. It's about to happen. You have walked through valleys so deep that at times you wondered if you would ever see the mountaintop again. You have endured nights that seemed endless, carrying burdens that bent your shoulders and tested your resolve. Yet even in those places of heaviness, Jesus was near, guiding your steps, sustaining your breath, and holding your heart. What the enemy thought would break you only became the very fire that refined you. Every disappointment, every setback, every tear-stained moment has been preparing you for this hour. And now, the same God who has carried you through the wilderness is declaring with unshakable authority that the wilderness season is over. A new chapter is unfolding, and it carries with it joy, peace, and a restoration so complete that the former pain will pale in comparison. Jesus says it's about to happen. The season of surviving is ending, and the season of thriving is beginning. The chains that bound you are not only falling, they are disintegrating, never to hold you again. What was withheld is being released. What was broken is being restored. And what was delayed is being accelerated. This is not a small adjustment. This is a complete transformation, a divine reset that only His power could bring. The shadows are lifting, and the dawn is breaking with a brilliance that will fill every corner of your life. The ground beneath you is shifting, not to make you stumble, but to place you firmly in the center of His promise. You will not just glimpse His goodness, you will dwell in it, you will walk in it, and you will testify of it. So let courage rise within you, because fear has no place in the presence of such a promise. Do not look back with regret or forward with anxiety. Fix your eyes on the one who holds both past and future in His hands. What He is releasing will not only redeem the years you thought were wasted, but it will also multiply blessings in ways you could never orchestrate. You are about to see promises fulfilled, prayers answered, and dreams revived. The waiting has brought you here, the refining has shaped you, and now the reward is arriving. Jesus has spoken, and His word is final. It's about to happen, and no power in heaven or earth can stand against it. Everything you have endured has been leading to this point. And though you could not always see it, every detail has been carefully woven into the plan of God for your life. The weight of the waiting, the sting of disappointment, and the ache of unanswered questions were never signs of abandonment. They were the very tools He used to strengthen your spirit and deepen your faith. What once looked like detours and dead ends were in reality divine alignments pushing you toward destiny. And now, standing at the threshold of a new season, Jesus is declaring with unmistakable clarity that the long night is finally breaking and the dawn of fulfillment is here. What you thought was lost forever is being restored, and what you thought would never arrive is about to manifest with power. Jesus says, it's about to happen, not in theory, not in distant imagination, but in reality that will unfold before your very eyes. The chains of fear are falling, the walls of limitation are crumbling, and the doors of opportunity are swinging wide. You are stepping into a space you were born for, one prepared long before you ever faced the struggles that threatened to define you. The tables are turning, and what once worked against you will now work for you. The season of struggle was real, but the season of breakthrough will be undeniable, for His word is not a suggestion, it is law, unshakable and eternal. So stand with your head high and your spirit steady, because this is not the end of your story, it is the unveiling of its most powerful chapter. Your testimony will not be one of defeat, but of triumph, not of survival, but of overflowing abundance. And when people see what Jesus has done in your life, they will know that it could only have been His hand guiding, protecting, and blessing you. This is why you must not give up now. The finish line is not far, the promise is not delayed, and the miracle is already moving toward you. Jesus has spoken, and His word cuts through every lie of despair. It's about to happen, and nothing in this world can hold it back. Every trial you endured has been shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. You may not have recognized it in the middle of the storm, but the fire you walked through has refined you. The tears you cried watered the soil of your destiny, and the nights you thought would never end were preparing you for the dawn that is breaking now. Nothing has been wasted, not the pain, not the silence, not the waiting. All of it has been used to position you for this very moment, the moment when Jesus Himself speaks over your life and declares that change is no longer a distant hope but a present reality. The old season is fading away, and the new season is being birthed right before your eyes. Jesus says, it's about to happen. The shift that you have prayed for, the breakthrough that you have longed for, the promise that seemed delayed beyond measure is already on its way. What once resisted you will now release you. What once mocked your faith will soon become the proof of your perseverance, and what once felt broken beyond repair is about to be made whole. The doors are opening in places you least expected, and blessings are arriving in ways you could never have orchestrated. The transformation will be so complete that even those who doubted you will see the undeniable hand of God upon your life. This is not a small change. It is the kind of shift that redefines everything, from your present circumstances to the legacy you will leave behind. So let your heart rise with expectation, because heaven has already moved on your behalf. The chains that held you are not just loosening, they are shattering into pieces. The burdens you carried are lifting, and the weight of despair is being replaced with the strength of joy. You will no longer walk with uncertainty, but with boldness, knowing that Jesus has spoken and his word is true. Do not be distracted by what your eyes see right now. Focus instead on what he has promised, for his promise is greater than any obstacle in your path. Hold fast, for the miracle is already in motion, and soon your testimony will be the evidence that when Jesus says it's about to happen, nothing in heaven or earth can stop it. This is the hour you have been waiting for, the moment when all the threads of your story come together to reveal a picture far more beautiful than you imagined. The struggles that once felt endless will soon look small compared to the glory about to be revealed. Every tear you shed will be remembered not as evidence of pain, but as seeds of faith that grew into a harvest of joy. The silence you endured was not empty. It was the womb of a miracle, and now that miracle is ready to be birthed into your life. Jesus has been working behind the curtain, orchestrating details you could never control. And now he is pulling back the veil so that you can witness the masterpiece he has prepared. Your waiting has not been in vain, and your faith will not be disappointed. Jesus says it's about to happen. The turnaround will be sudden, the release will be undeniable, and the transformation will be complete. Where there was lack, there will be abundance. Where there was sorrow, there will be laughter. Where there was despair, there will be hope, unshakable. And it will not only bless your life, but overflow into the lives of those connected to you. Your testimony will become the proof that God still moves, that his promises are alive, and that his word cannot fail. The chains of the past are broken, the prison doors are wide open, and the path ahead is filled with light. What he has spoken is sealed in eternity, and no power in heaven, on earth, or in hell can stop what is about to unfold in your life. So walk forward in confidence, because you are stepping into the season you were created for. Do not let fear hold you back. Do not let doubt cloud your vision, and do not let the past steal the promise of your future. Lift your hands, lift your heart, and lift your voice, because this is the moment when faith becomes sight. The breakthrough is not just near, it is here. The miracle is not just promised, it is manifesting, and the word of Jesus is thundering over your life with unstoppable authority. It's about to happen. Believe it, receive it, and let your life shine as living proof that his word is true, his love is eternal, and his power is greater than anything you have faced.